Good evening. This is OmniDog. Welcome to Omnibros Live, Monday, February 26th. This year is 2018. Oh, hell.
What's the matter?
That's me. So professional. I just was blurting it out and I forgot to mute my YouTube. Ugh. Okay, so where was I? And I'm joined with my fabulous co-host from near mint condition, Omar. Omar, how's it going?
It's going okay, buddy. It's going okay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight on another exciting adventure in the world of OmniBros Live.
It is an adventure.
Tonight is a special event, though. We are going.
Everybody, thank you for joining us.
Man, that's me.
You did it too. Awesome.
Shut up! Don't judge me. Okay, so tonight is really special because this is the first time we get to actually give away the gift card we've been talking about for almost a month. So the gift card will be emailed to people to whoever wins, and there are from our wonderful sponsors, which Jess will tell you about here in a second. So the way we decided to do this was, for the first time, give it to the people on the chat. Give a chance for somebody on the chat that's watching tonight to win it. It's a $50 gift card to In Stock Trades. And what we decided to do was anywhere from 8:30 to 8:45, so that's a 15-minute span, you guys have to pick a random number from 1 through 100. So we're going to make this fair. And I'll remind people like every 10 minutes or so for those just coming in. And we will give it to the closest one, not going over, right? That's the way the Price is Right is done. Like if you picked 45 and the number's 47, you win.
Right. Yeah. And it's the chat you're chatting in right now on YouTube.
Yes. This chat.
Which chat? This chat right here that you're looking at right there.
Yes. So good luck, everybody. And again, that starts at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it can go all the way to 8:45. You can't choose more than one number, and if the number's already been taken, I will let you know in the chat. It's my job to keep an eye on the chat. I don't know why I volunteer for that. That is a shitty job, but that's why I'm here. So let's get the show started. Jess, who supplied us with this awesome gift card? By the way, this is open to international waters too, so anybody from overseas can enter, because In Stock Trades will be emailing you the $50 gift card. It's not a physical gift card.
Right. I'm whichever way I'm pointing is towards the chat. Okay. So I don't know wherever the chat is for you guys. Tonight is brought to you by In Stock Trades, which offers up to 50% off collected editions of comics. Over $50 of an order gets you free shipping in the United States. They send it in bomb-proof packaging, fabulous customer service, and they also have loyalty discounts and sales. And those damaged sales, I have something that was supposedly damaged. I'll show it tonight on the haul portion of this. I did haul something, and I struggled to find the damage on it. So InStockTrades.com is where you want to go to get your collected editions of comics. How'd I do? Oh, you muted yourself because you didn't want to talk during my time. Okay,
I'm playing it safe, my friend. You did such an amazing job that I was letting you roll with it. So yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so once again, the gift card, you can enter the numbers in anywhere from 8:30 Eastern Standard Time to 8:45. Pick a number between 1 through 100, and we'll let a random generator give out the gift card, because we are not going to play the role of who gets what for wittiest answer or whatever, because that's just not fair. So many witty people on the chat.
Yes.
So you mentioned hauls, man. All right, what'd you haul, Jess?
Yo, I hauled some stuff this week. I will show you what I hauled. First thing I discovered this. Sam Kluxenberger von Nuys, or whatever his name is, alerted Luis and I to the existence of Herbie Popnecker. So I got the which this is so right up my alley, to get the Fat Fury I have no idea how this guy exists or why he exists. It's Alan Moore's favorite comic book, apparently. He's got superpowered lollipops, something like that. I don't know, but it looks hilarious. Actually, let me open this next one so I can get you some artwork here.
I love the fact that you just went on a whole, like 2 weeks ago, about a budget. Like, I'm not going to put my money on stupid shit. And you show me Herbie.
I know, but this is so awesome. And this is Herbie, and I'm telling you, IST is awesome because whoever's got the OCD out there that said there was something wrong with this, there's not anything wrong with this. And this was like $15. So this is what the artwork's like. This is probably pretty typical for Silver Age. I don't even know. This could be British for all I know. I really don't know. American Comics Group. Okay, so I guess it's American, but it's Alan Moore's favorite comic. There's Gabe. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, fellas?
So I'm just
not a lot. He's showing me his shitty book that he just bought.
Wait. How much mention did you get this week, Omar? Speaking of shitty books.
I'm not going to answer that. All right, I'm sorry. This is probably a brilliant piece of work I'm judging based on the cover. But
yeah, it's not like that JLA you had me by.
All I heard was magic lollipops, and I immediately liked this character.
Yeah, I mean it's Herbie, so I don't know. I'm gonna do my best to read it and review it this week. Volume 3 is coming because it's out of print, but I got it at a good price online, so. That's I mean, that's all I needed was somebody to tell me about something and it's out of print and I'm all, okay.
Oh, that's how you break your budget. We just have to tell you something's going out of print.
Right, and it's
I'll
rare.
remember that shit.
Hey, Jess, that Infinity Gauntlet box set's already out of print.
Oh my God, I have to have it. I'll pay twice cost.
You're so stupid.
I know.
Wait. That was literally like every other post on the group.
Is what?
Is you going, I need it. It's out of print. I need it. I'll pay double for it. Hey, everybody, I just bought this thing for $400. Is that a deal? Question mark.
Oh, right. Then I got the first 3 volumes of Supergirl, The Girl of Steel. Got Michael Turner cover.
The Jeff Loeb run.
Correct. And this
one
he started it. Yeah, this is Joe Kelly, and this one's Kelly Puckett. I haven't read these at all, and I love Supergirl a lot.
What's up, Riley? I hope they continue those because DC canceled the last 2 right before what was the crossover? I think Final Crisis or something. Yeah, DC canceled the last 2 books that we needed for, like, I think it was Sterling Gates that was writing it at the time.
Right. Yeah, I have those. I have number 4. I think number 4 is by Sterling Gates. But I don't have I mean that's what I have now. The first 4 of that Supergirl run.
Okay.
As I promised, a Yeti sighting, a Loch Ness Monster sighting, and a Ryleymo sighting. There he is.
Who is the Yeti?
Yeah.
Are you the Yeti? You gotta be the Yeti, Jess.
I don't know. Maybe Jess. He is a dog.
Yeah,
you are El Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Gabe is El Chupacabra. That's not racist. I'm just basing it where you are.
Please do a review on them, Jess. Sakura darling. Which ones do you want me to review? The Supergirl or the Herbie books? Tell me which ones. And also, I got this was based on something nobody recommended it to me, but I love the writer, and it's Howard the Duck. I love Chip Zdarsky, so I figured this has to be good. Nobody recommended it to me, but I'm going on my own and just thinking that this has to be good.
I'm really enjoying Chip Zdarsky's Marvel 2-in-1 Human Torch and Thing. That's really good.
That series is great. It doesn't feel like him though, because his writing is usually more comedic. But that series has a really good, like, semi-serious cosmic tone.
Hey, Riley, you need to put your mic down by your mouth.
Sorry.
There we go.
I moved it because I was doing a cookie earlier.
I wondered what was going on there. Then I also got DC meets Looney Tunes because I figured, doesn't Batman meet Elmer Fudd or something in this?
Yeah,
Like Tom King.
that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
A lot of Looney Tunes ones were actually really, really good, but there's something just extra fantastic about the Tom King.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was really excited about this. I may read this week.
Because you're excited about the Legionnaires right there.
Yeah, I love it. I'm sorry we're not that desperate. The Imposter, Superboy, Sam Humphries is a good writer, so this is good. Yeah, no, this is my jam. It's right up my alley. And last but not least, I got
alley. That sounds weird.
What's that?
You said that was my jam and up my alley.
He's been listening to a lot of soundtracks recently.
Also, Action Comics #2 Deluxe Volume. I got. And
damn, Jess, you were hauling hard this week.
That's 2 weeks worth. So I'm not getting anything this week.
He got over the budgeting.
Well, I was gonna say what happened was he didn't buy anything 1 week, so he could buy all this shit.
Making up for it now, yeah.
We actually did do a budget the other day, and I worked in comics into that budget, so everything's all set in stone now. I have a dead positive certain amount I can spend, and my wife knows to look out for in-stock trades on a credit card. So the free ride's over. I'm on a budget, and I'm definitely going to get my tallywhacker smacked if I get in trouble.
I'm not going to ask what a tallywhacker is.
It's what you think it is.
Omar, you know what a tallywhacker is.
It's spanked with a ruler.
I'm into weird shit. All right, so
you've seen these.
So was that it?
Budget.
That's it.
Before we go into Riley's haul, because I think Riley joins us when he buys like 85 books on Mondays. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly Aquaman, Peter David, Volume 1. I can't believe I'm holding this in my hands. This is finally here. Previously, they had collected the Aquaman Time and Tide miniseries that he had done with Kirk Jarvin. And now we've got the first, I think, 8 issues and issue 0. So everyone go out and buy this so DC can keep pushing these out. And damn it, Gabe, I can't believe I bought it. I still hate Ian Churchill, but I bought the stupid fucking Onslaught book.
No, dude,
because
it's badass. Look how badass Cable looks on there, man.
So this is a previously solicited book that it was originally called Cable and X-Force Volume 2. And 4 years ago, Marvel decided to cancel it. And now it's back under the title Cable and X-Force Onslaught Rising. So I'm happy about that. It's got Adam Polina artwork and, of course, Ian Churchill, the big crossover with X-Man. The 95 annual, the X-Force and Cable annual, and a lot of stuff written by Jeff Loeb. And I think Jeff Loeb did most of the writing in this, if not all of it. It's been years since I read this because this is around the time. Yeah, this is right around the time when I stopped collecting comics. So Onslaught. Thanks.
Have you seen Adam Polina's like beard combs?
No. What?
That's
like he makes beard combs? Is that what he does now?
Yeah, he left comics and started making like handcrafted beard combs.
What?
Because he's got a pretty massive beard.
Oh, okay. All right.
He looks kind of like he'd be in like Jane's Addiction or something. And he's got like a long beard and he makes these like handcrafted beard combs, and that's just his thing now.
Weird hippie out of nowhere. I'm gonna quit the corporate business and braid hemp necklaces for a living.
There's Comic Guide 101 joining the chat. We've got a monster chat tonight. What's up, Luis?
Huh? Oh, I thought this was chat.
Wait, I do have a question though. Are you guys here just to enter to win the gift card? Because you know we're not eligible for the gift card, right?
Oh, fuck this. Then I'm out. I'm done.
Okay. All right.
Everybody knows I'm in this for the gift card. Did we talk about my new Lord and Savior, Herbie?
Yes, we did. We talked about Herbie already.
We are Herbie witnesses now, Jess. We'll wake you up at 6 a.m. and hand out pamphlets about Herbie Popneck.
That's right.
You had me a magical lollipop. I think I've used that line before.
Uh,
All right, Riley, what did you get?
What'd you haul there, boy?
So,
Let it be known the white guy just said boy.
boy,
Boy.
I'm telling you, he's been listening to some soundtracks. I'm not sure where this is coming from.
I have a couple of stacks here. The first one is a simple one. I read the first volume of Food Wars. I know I mentioned that like last week, so I ordered more. So I'm gonna read these pretty soon. You know, Food Orgasms for 12 volumes. And then the other stack is the more interesting one, I think.
More interesting than like food orgasms.
Yeah, Food Orgasms.
Yeah. So you're saying these books are more interesting than that? Sounds amazing.
More interesting in that I can say more about it than just being like, look, Food Orgasms. But Omar, was this the chick that you were talking about last time?
Yeah.
I pulled them out of the box and I was like, Omar.
And this podcast is going downhill, guys.
Anyway, so the second stack, I got a bunch of Batman stuff because in the group, Fariha has been buying a lot of Batman and reading a lot of Batman, and she talks about everything in the admin chat. And so I was like, shit, I have a lot of Batman stuff that either I've read and really liked and never like I sold it in singles and never bought it, or stuff that I skipped over because one reason or another that I wanted to own, just to fill out kind of the era of Batman comics around when Morrison was on the series, and some little gaps in the in between all the volumes that DC's been releasing, because they've been doing everything from like Nightfall all the way through current, pretty much solid across a bunch of paperbacks and stuff. So I bought a lot of things. So just going through them chronologically. First one I got was Officer Down. This is a crossover between the Bat books from around the time that Rucko was on Detective before or right after No Man's Land. I don't know that this is being collected in the new editions, so I went ahead and bought the paperback for super cheap. All these were...
It is.
It is being collected?
Yeah, it's in volume 1, I think, of the new edition.
It's definitely not in volume 1.
It's called New Gotham.
It's definitely not in volume 1 because I have volume 1 and it's not in there.
Okay, maybe it's in volume 2. It's one of the ones that I picked up, but yeah, it's in there. It's just
Well,
it's just under the title New Gotham, I think.
Let me double check now because I might have spent $5 for nothing.
It's $5, man. I mean, really.
No, that's why I'm not really concerned. I was about to say, like, if it is collected somewhere, I really don't.
It's gonna be collected in that, I think, in volume 2, because I also had the original Officer Down, and I think the other one was the Ra's al Ghul story by Greg Rucka with the Serpent Lady. I think that was the other trade paperback. That was volume 1.
This New Gotham new edition it says through from 742 to 753 of Detective, and this one has 754.
Okay, so then that will probably be in volume 2 then. Because I could have sworn I had volume 2 already.
So, no, that one's not out yet, but the solicit skips that issue, so I bought it in case. And we all know, like, we've seen DC solicits are often bullshit, so it's possible that they could come back and it could be in there, but I bought it just in case. But like we were saying, it was $5. I'm not gonna, piss myself over it. Then the next one I got, As the Crow Flies. This is Judd Winnick's Batman story from before Under the Red Hood. This is Judd Winnick with Dustin Wynn on artwork, and it's a Scarecrow story.
It's a good one. I actually like his run.
Yeah, Judd Winnick has some good stuff on Batman. And then the next chunk of things are all like Paul Dini's Detective Comics run, starting with the book Detective, and then the second volume.
Ooh, that's out of print, isn't it?
If it is, then I got lucky because I got it for like less than $10.
I think it is.
Death in the City is a second book, and then this kind of annoys me, but there are 3 issues between Death in the City
and the next volume, the Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul crossover. 3 issues that are not collected. One of them is by Paul Dini. The other 2, I think, are by John Rossum. So I'm not terribly concerned with those, but kind of annoying that they're not collected in the books. But yeah, I got the Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul because for some reason I never got it. And then I bought the...
You're going to need that book because it's not part of the omnibus.
Yeah, I found that out.
Face to Face, I think, is the other one that's out of print too. Yeah, that's the one that's out of print.
Well, that one got recently reprinted as a deluxe edition.
Oh, okay. That's a good story too. I really like that one.
So yeah, I got a private case book, Paul Dini right after Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, and then that leads into, I had this one already, Heart of Hush. This is like the second Hush story that, or not the second Hush story. This is one of the next Hush stories after Loeb's run, and I really liked the character, so I was like, I want that. So I bought that back when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it. And then after that is kind of when the whole that was happening during RIP. So after that, Dini started up another Batman series that had Dick and Damian together alongside Batman and Robin, which was Streets of Gotham. So I got the 3 volumes of Streets of Gotham in hardcover. That's the whole series. I actually got lucky because I think these are out of print, but I got them.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, I got these for a really good price. Yeah, I loved this series. I really loved this series. So that was one of the ones where I was like, man, I loved that series when it came out. I need to have that on my shelf. I hope they reprint it in a nicer edition, like a complete or an omnibus or something, just because that more people need to read that series. And then speaking of Judd Winnick, this was Long Shadows when he wrote a few issues of Batman after Morrison left during the whole Batman Reborn story. I remember reading this and thinking it was a pretty good little story. It's got Mark Bagley on the artwork. And then these 2, actually the next 4, are going to be kind of just things I got to fill a gap because, again, they were super cheap. The Tony Daniel stuff, Batman Life and Death. This was right after Long Shadows. The Eye of the Beholder, which was after... between Life and Death and Eye of the Beholder was, what's it called? Time in the Batman. And then Faces of Death.
Who's responsible for the second? It must be Louis.
Yeah, I don't even have the YouTube open.
Probably me. Hold on.
Yeah, it's Luis.
It's always Louis.
That Puerto Rican internet.
Are we good now? Nope.
No. Yeah, it's probably me.
Let's take a minute. Oh, yeah, it sounds good now. Let's take a minute right now to, Omar, why don't you talk about the giveaway that's happening in 7 minutes?
Okay.
Tell us about that.
So, really quick, everybody in the chat right now that's going on is eligible, whether you live in Canada, Australia, America, wherever you live, you're eligible for a $50 gift card from InStock Trades because they will be emailing you a code. In order to enter, starting at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, just put a random number in from 1 to 100 is what we decided. And you can only enter once, and if the number's already been taken, we'll let you know. And you have from 8:30 to 8:45 to do it. I'll remind everybody again around 8:40. And we'll let a random number generator pick the winner because we don't want to be responsible for that.
Wait. We're going to let them pick a number, and we got to keep track of who picks what number.
I'll keep check. And we also decided to do it Price is Right style. So if you picked 45 and the number is 46 and you're the closest one to, you are the winner, but you can't go over. So if you picked 47 and the number is 46, sorry.
Yeah, that's important to note because we don't have any tiebreakers.
Right.
We can do that.
Don't complicate the rules, goddammit.
We had this all figured out.
I'll remember a random number. But okay.
No, I'm writing it down. I said I would take care of it.
Writing it down. We're okay. Omar's on it.
Okay.
I'm on it. All right, carry on. Sorry, Riley.
Okay, that's okay. But I was saying I got the first 3 volumes of New 52 Detective Comics. The first 2 were Tony Daniel, and the third is the first of John Layman's run. I want to point out something really funny in this is that the pull quotes on Detective 1 and 2, it's the same pull quote from Entertainment Weekly. This is your go-to book. It's on the back of this one. This is your go-to book. Volume 3, same thing. This is your go-to book. And it says, on the front, though, it says, writer John Layman has reinvigorated the book with his first story arc. So it's like they're kind of going against what they said on the covers of the first 2.
We've got echo again.
I blame Luis.
It's my fault. I don't even have anything. Right?
Are we good now?
Nope.
No.
Log on.
So while he does that, just to clarify, the reason we decided, Gabe, to go with the Price is Right. So if somebody picks, say the number's 46, right, and somebody has 45, and then somebody else had 47, we can't have 2 winners, right? So that's why we decided to go with the one that's closest, but under the number. That's the Price is Right for those people that don't know what it is if you don't live in America. I forgot that too.
Yeah, and Nathan Burkholz just texted me, I am dying. Please, God, give Riley shit for buying all that Tony Daniels Batman stuff. I'd rather die than read that stuff again.
I was waiting for it. I was legitimately waiting for someone to say something. But, like, I found all these books for so cheap, I was like, Just so, honestly, like, just so I can read them and then be like, okay, yes, that was bad. And this is an example of poor budgeting.
And are you done with what you hauled?
Oh no, it gets worse.
Oh my God, you're still hauling?
This is the last chunk. Is the Dark Knight series that started from David Finch?
Oh damn, dude, that did get worse. Put that shit away.
Go back, man. Get your money back.
This is notoriously, like this volume in particular, like notoriously the shittiest Batman in a while. But I will tell you where I didn't go. I didn't go even worse than this and get the David Hine Batman Imposters book. That one, I was like, okay, that one's too bad even for me to track down, especially because like all of these, they're really cheap and I found them for like a few bucks each, but the David Hine stuff is like 15 plus, so I'm like, I'm not spending that on literal shit. But yeah, I mean, after David Finch, his run, Greg Hurwitz takes over, and there are some really fucking killer artists on this book during this time. The first volume still has Finch, but then you get Ethan Van Sciver and Alex Maleev coming on for later stuff, and I've actually heard some good stuff about Hurwitz's run, so that was really why I got the Dark Knight stuff, was just to be able to read the Hurwitz thing, and because my brain won't let me have a volume 2, 3, and 4 without a volume 1. So,
all right. So let's start the gift card thing. Okay. So I'm sorry if the rules are fucking complicated. I talked about this with Jess, and it was his fault. So you all can talk to him about this.
How about you let me make this easy right now?
That's only one person complaining about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's
Go
fine.
ahead. All right, so everybody pick a random number 1 through 100. I will jot them down. I'll keep an eye on them. You can't pick more than one number, and they can't have the same. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, Omar, good job keeping track.
I got this shit. They got until 8:45. There's only 58 people watching. Calm your tits. Anyway, go ahead.
You got to 8:45.
Oh, this is awesome.
I'm not even on the YouTube video, so I don't know what's happening, but I can guess that it's just
numbers. All of a sudden, numbers are just pouring
in the chat.
I'm gonna keep watching. You guys keep talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that was my Bat haul. So that's all the Bat books I'll be getting for a really long time.
All right. You got a ton. Gabe, you're not allowed to enter. Stop putting numbers in. As far as hauls go, did you haul anything, Gabe?
No, I didn't haul anything at all. I'm still waiting for the super amazing item of the year that comes out next week is an Infinity box set. So I'm waiting for that.
Next week that's coming out. Okay. No, Luis, you can't enter either with your 69. Did you haul anything, Luis, or are you here for the read portion?
I'm here for the read portion.
Well, why don't you start it off? What did you read this week?
I've read a shit ton of stuff, actually. I've been over the past few weeks just like starting to get back into the swing of things and reading things. First thing I read was Black Hammer. Holy shit, is that good?
Yeah.
Wow. Black Hammer would definitely go on my top 5 list had I read it like last year before I did my top 5 list. That is really good stuff. For those of you who don't know, Black Hammer centers around these characters that they are essentially kind of characters from the Silver and Golden Age of comics. There's this big fight that happens, and after the big fight, they are transported to this small podunk town, and they can't escape. And I really don't want to give away too much else about what goes into it, but suffice to say that we've seen a lot of books that like deal with the deconstruction of superheroes and things like that, but I don't think I've ever seen it done like this. It's written by Jeff Lemire, and Jeff Lemire just writes. He has this tone that he is able to nail that small town feeling like no other writer. We've seen it before in Essex County, and we've seen it before in Roughneck and other books that he does, and he just absolutely nails it. What I really love so much about this is that he takes certain kind of like small tropes and stuff like that, and he twists them on their ear. We've got the Shazam-like character who, when she says the word, I forgot what the word is, Zafram or something like that, she transforms into a little girl. Well, she's stuck in this town with the rest of the other superheroes, and she's unable to change back from being a little girl. So she's actually like this 65-year-old woman that's trapped in this little girl body, and she's going to, I think it was like 3rd grade, over and over again. And you see this woman who she lives in a swamp, and you see her backstory as well. And all of this is leading to, without ruining anything, to them trying to basically just be sick of it. They are tired of living in this town. They want to escape. And you're probably wondering, well, what's keeping them there? They answer that question very early on in the series, and a huge, oh, shit, that's why they can't escape this town. But it's only so far 13 issues, excuse me, and an annual, and it's fantastic stuff. It really, really is fantastic stuff. There's a spin-off series. I forgot the name of the spin-off series, Frankenstein something or another, and I have not read that. However, I absolutely love this, and if you are a fan of classic superheroes and you're a fan of Jeff Lemire, and if you're a fan of good writing, this is definitely a pickup. It's fantastic. And this was huh? What'd you say?
I heard nothing but good things about Black Hammer. I really want to pick that book up a lot. I'm gonna just.
Oh yeah, same. I was just happy it lived up to the hype because I had heard so many great things about it, and I was listening to 11 O'Clock Comics podcast, and their 11 O'Clock, like the best of the year, and they kept bringing it up, and I was like, all right, well, this is obviously something that I need to sit down.
Dude, what? 11 O'Clock Comics? I've been on the stump for this thing for like 8 months. What are you listening to 11 O'Clock Comics for your comic review?
I've been talking about it since month 1.
Still same with Riley. 11 O'Clock Comics, fuck them.
You're gonna turn into a fucking YouTube knife fight, motherfucker.
This is gonna be like that scene in Anchorman where all the channels start fighting.
I just wanted to chime in and take a break from all these fucking numbers. Goddamn, I'm proud of you, Jess. Carry on. I love what Jess snaps.
Omar, please.
But yeah, Lemire over the past year has just been crushing it with pretty much everything. The guy's just had an incredible year in terms of output. Just like Thanos. I think he was on X-Men for a while. Roughneck.
Everything,
Death. Huh?
Everything he did at Valiant.
Everything he did at Valiant after Death. Like, if Tom King hadn't have put out so many great titles this past year, Mr. Miracle, his Batman run, et cetera, then I would honestly say this is probably Jeff Lemire's best year. Like, Jeff Lemire would probably be my writer of the last year. Other things that I read. I finally caught back up on Deadly Class.
Sorry.
What was that?
What?
Whoa.
That was my cell phone. Sorry.
I finally caught back up on Deadly Class. I read the 31 issues that are out. Still one of the best books that's being published on the stands. I was a bit hesitant because somebody ruined like a huge tone shift that the book takes after I think it's like 21st issue, if I'm not mistaken. But we basically jump ahead a little bit and we get an introduction. We get a whole new set of kids that we're introduced. And I was a bit hesitant to see if Remender could pull it off and introduce these new kids and they were still as interesting as the original group. And goddamn, they are really cool. I really like the new guys. There's this Hilliam. I think his name is Hilliam. And he's kind of like this he's this German guy who's into D&D, and he wears a Thor helmet all over the place, and when he's killing people, he's got an axe and everything. It's just a fun series, and it keeps twisting and turning, and it keeps taking me to new places, and I keep thinking I'm 2 steps ahead of Remender, and he's always just one of those writers that he writes interesting characters, and he keeps the plot constantly going, and Deadly Class just continues to be one of the best things on the stand. I think we talked about it, Omar and Riley, about the new cast of characters. I really dig them a lot. I like the Korean kid, who's kind of he's like a greaser.
Yeah, he's got that rockabilly look to him.
Yeah, he's got the rockabilly look to him. He's kind of, you find out later, he's a real big asshole though. But like that's the thing with most of the kids in Deadly Class. None of them are really good people. They've all got their shades, and they're all kind of assholes to each other. But that's part of the reason why you read it. What else? I think that was the most of it. I read that. I'm going to start God Country this week. I'm looking forward to that. Giovanni gave it a good review. Everybody's saying it's really good. And I've just started my reread of 20th Century Boys.
Did you ever get around to starting? I know you mentioned it to us, the Bendis Iron Man stuff.
I haven't gotten around to that stuff. I've been meaning to. I've heard good things, and then you hear like the detractors online and stuff like that. But most of them are racist. But overall, it was it's been a heavy week, and I've been just kind of reading a whole bunch of different shit. That's on my to read list this week. My read list this week is like God Country, Bendis's Iron Man, and Kill or Be Killed. Catch up with that. So
nice. Yeah, God Country, you'll get that in like one sitting. It's a real quick but really good read.
Yeah, it's only 6 issues.
Awesome. Gabe, did you read anything this week?
Yeah, I did some reading this week. It was great. All right. So first up, I'm still working through the incredible Gotham Academy series. This is the second trade entitled Calamity, and this collects issues 7 through 12, and some stuff from Gotham Academy preview number 1. This is still a fantastic book. I saw that there was a little bit of a chatter about it on the groups, and I've been reading it for a while, and I was really happy to see more folks on the group checking this book out. But as always, just the art in the book is fantastic. There's some great story elements about the young female protagonist in the series looking for her mother and the history of her mother being a Gotham villain and being locked up at Arkham at one point. You get great Batman characters in here, like Damian, Tim Drake.
I'm gonna let you finish, Gabe. But Beyonce had
God
one of the
damn it,
best
Kanye
videos.
West, Omar.
Anyway, so I think everybody did an awesome job. I just need we have 2 number 13s and Sakura. Darling had it first, so Chastity Cakes, if you could choose another number. And I think that's the only one that has doubled up. Everybody else went back in and read
Omar.
a number. And fuck
Nice.
you and Louise throwing random numbers in there, you assholes.
Omar, let me make this easier for you. I'll do it. Omar, let me do it for you. It's going to kill you. I'm going to die because this is too hard. All right. But yeah, so back to Gotham Academy. Again, just great series. Clayface is in here. Clayface's daughter makes an appearance in this book. It's fantastic. I mean, Becky Cloonan, Brendan Fletcher, and Carl Kerschel are just banging it out of the park on this series. And if anybody's reading this, put it up in the chat. You know, we'll chat about it real quick. But man, this is a great series. Everybody should be checking this out. Second up is I read Stephanie Brown Batgirl. This is the volume 1 trade paperback of that series. And I dug it. It's really good. It's some great character development that you never get to see on a character like Stephanie Brown, who was once Spoiler and was once Robin and was once murdered and is now kind of picking up the paces and filling in basically for Oracle, for Barbara Gordon. And this is kind of coincidental. This takes place around the same time of all that crap that Riley bought for Batman Reborn.
Yeah, I already had that one, so I that's why it wasn't in my haul.
But no, this is
Woo!
great.
I can join. What are we talking about?
We're talking about you.
Halls?
Let me,
I'm kidding. Good. Yeah, I've been listening. That's awesome. I love Stephanie Brown.
Yeah.
Very, very, very underrated character. I'm glad she's back in the DC universe. So, and that Batgirl run, I'm glad it's back in print.
It's really, I'm glad it's back in print because I think it was it ever like in a hardcover format before?
I do have something else to say. Clark, sorry, man. There were 2 number 77s, and so can Cuban Groove choose a number, please? That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
Thanks
And then
for doing that.
everybody else is entered, and we got another minute left before we close it, and we see who the winner is.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, this is good. Artwork in here is by Lee Garbett for most of the time. It's a little rough. Like he starts out not being the best artist in the world, and he ends the book not being the best artist. But there was some progression in his artwork, which is good to see, and always fun to kind of experience an artist going from one level to another within a series. Also, there's some just good old like disabled people in here really coming up. You get Barbara Gordon in here. You get the Calculator. You get all kinds of really fun stuff in Batgirl Volume 1. I'm going to check out Volume 2. If it's not out already, when it does, I'm really interested in reading this some more. Just the art's really loose, not that great in here. So, and besides that, I'm starting up reading. I'm going to start reading the Silver Surfer Omnibus. I'm already got an issue or 2 in on this, so I should be talking about this for the next couple of weeks probably. We'll look forward to Silver Surfer.
All right, one more person needs to change it and that's Billy Wilk, because he has 32, but Shorty Larson had it first, and that's it. And then we're done. So just send me that, and
That
we can
sounds familiar.
start this thing. And
Good.
that was
We're closing it off right now.
Yeah, we're closing it off as soon as I get that number from Billy Wilk, because both, yeah, there were 2. Shorty had it first, so I just want to make it fair.
You know, there's gonna be somebody in the comment section that's gonna comment.
God damn it! Everybody's gonna start typing numbers. Thank you, sir. All right, let's do it. You chose 44. All right, Jess, I'm going to share my screen so everybody have. No, nobody had 12. Maverick, I got you, man. I got you. So let's see. random, close to porn, share screen, in that order. Share. Let me know when you guys can see it, so then everybody else can see it.
Okay, we can see it. Whoop.
It's John P. Win.
Let me click on it. There, okay.
Got it?
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for participating. So here we go. Random generator says 25. 25 is the winner. I'm going to look through here and double check, and I will let you guys know who the winner is. Damn, we got a couple of close ones. So 25 is the number. All right, let me look through here. You guys keep talking about your shitty books that you all bought.
I'm the only one that buys shitty books.
No,
But I
you're
bought
not.
a lot of good stuff too. I mean, so come on.
I am also guilty of buying shitty books. You're not alone, brother.
Yeah, have you seen your manga?
I fucking own The Crossing, guys. Come on. All right, so 25. I believe Trigonosis is the winner with the closest one. Nope, Kristen. That's it. Kristen at 25. This was not rigged.
Poor Trigonosis. He was so
I'm
close.
so sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I was double checking. I should have.
Poor
He
guy.
was at 23.
Contact Omar. He'll send you a few bucks.
And so how are they going to get the code?
We are going to get a message from them. Kristen is going to email us at, what's our email address? Gabe?
evilomar69@yahoo.com.
Nobody uses Yahoo anymore, dipshit. You guys have an email, right?
Yeah, it's OmniBroslive@gmail.com.
Okay. So Kristen
@gmail.com.
Robertson.
Hey, I've got a Yahoo email, so y'all need to stop hating.
I still have a AOL.
You try to log on to AIM still? You're that one account that's keeping AIM up.
No, I don't use Yahoo. Attack on Louis Spud.
Yeah, I still got a CompuServe account.
Yeah, I still have a LiveJournal account.
Man, we actually got the prices right. If I was Bob Barker, I'd let Kristen dig in my pockets. Isn't that what they do, right?
And then Omar at the end of the show has to be like, "Get your dog spayed and neutered."
Is that really what they do?
Riley, what did you read this week?
Let's see. So I don't have any of them on me right now. They're all in the bedroom. But the main two things that I've started on reading was I started reading Daredevil Shadowland, and I was also kind of at the same time reading the Reggie Hudlin Black Panther stuff, because after Shadowland, Black Panther moves over to Hell's Kitchen and kind of takes the place of, Daredevil for a little while before the Mark Waid run. So basically, I wanted to read all the stuff in Black Panther that came before that and all the stuff in Daredevil that came before that, kind of in unison. So I've read a little bit more of the Black Panther stuff. I'm almost done with that first Hudlin book, which starts good, and then I think it kind of just meanders. But at least I know that in the third volume, I get that sweet, sweet Jason Aaron run that I get to read again. And then I'm going to read, after the 3 Hudlin books, I'll read Doom War, which is the Jonathan Mayberry run where Shuri has taken over as the Black Panther, which actually happened at the end of the Hudlin stuff. But that's what I'm mainly reading right now, and then catching up on single issues and stuff, as always. And I still need to go and read the next volume of Food Wars. And I read 2 volumes of One Piece, which was great.
Awesome. Omar, did you read anything this week?
I'm seeing numbers right now. The hell? No, I did read a lot of stuff. I read Low. I caught up with the ending of Invincible. And I don't know if I was completely satisfied with the way Invincible ended. I hate to say that because it was a fun book, and I don't know. I don't think I liked it that much. Caught up on Walking Dead. Caught up on the X titles, and I read some more Love and Rocket. I'm on volume 2. It's still okay. And then I read Elektra by Frank Miller.
One of the books you mentioned, I had a thing to say. What did you mention before Love and Rockets? Oh, did you read X-Men Red?
I did, man. I loved it. I loved X-Men Red. It gives me hope for the X-Men comics.
Yeah, man. I'm really hoping right now that one, that series goes for a while, and number two, that now that Jerry Dugan is wrapping up his Deadpool run, that he might go on to one of the main X books, because he's really killing it. I don't know if anyone read that Infinity Countdown Prime issue, but man, that issue was dope, and it was like
I haven't read it yet.
It was cool.
He wrote it?
Definitely check it out.
Okay.
If you've read, not just speaking to you, but in general, everyone who's listening, if you've read Dugan's Uncanny Avengers and his Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, this event is really picking up a lot from what he had been doing on both of those books, at least from this first issue, it seems as such. And it was just a really killer first issue. And it even has at the back of the issue, and this was really cool to me, there's a little like, like they do those Marvel Spotlight issues where they give like a history of a character.
Yeah.
In this issue, it's like a Marvel Spotlight type thing for the Infinity Gems. And it kind of tells the history of like how they came to be and then where they are now. And it even says at the very end something about like the gems have switched colors, which I'm pretty sure most people outside of Gabe wouldn't notice. But the gems have switched colors, and it says that, and it says that there's the reason's not known just yet. So they're aware of that, and there's apparently going to be a reason for it. But it's really cool little setup to whatever this event is supposed to be.
What is the event going to be called?
It's just Infinity Countdown, but I don't know what it's counting down to.
Because I did read the Adam Warlock issue, and that was okay. But I have not read
really. Alan, that Mike Allred art was the shit.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Infinity War 2. Wow.
But
the color, so it matches up the fucking Hasbro toy.
But the issue, the Countdown Prime issue, was really cool, and like some characters are back, some characters are doing cool stuff. It's definitely a good issue to check out. And another comic that came out that was really awesome was the Doctor Strange Damnation one-shot, or not one-shot, the first issue of that little mini event that's going on for Doc Strange, which basically, I don't know if any of y'all have read it, but I think it's in the wake of... In the wake of Secret Empire, Doc Strange uses his magic to resurrect Las Vegas. You're welcome, Gabe. And his use of magic, because it has to come with a sacrifice, all of a sudden he looks up and there's like this giant tower from hell that just comes out of the middle of Vegas, and they go inside and it's a casino that's like run by demons and Mephisto and stuff. And so Doc Strange has to go fight through casino demons.
Huh. That sounds cool.
Those are called elderly people. They're at the slot machine still, but they're beanie.
They just sound like demons because they're smoking and inhaling their oxygen tank.
Like Mephisto, though, has like a suit on, like he's all suave and is like he looks more human, and he like has his arm around Doc Strange, and he's like, talking to him about stuff, and they go like basically to a movie theater together, and he's like, dude, fucking stop touching me. It's a really fun first issue.
I think Bonnie Kate stole that idea for me.
Okay, Jess, what'd you read? Well,
by the way, Kristen, congratulations for being the winner. Please don't go and buy $50 worth of David Finch Batman books.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it either.
or any mango whatsoever. I will ban you.
You could do so much better than that.
Whatever, man. Ban yourself, Gabe.
Yeah, but y'all, in a few weeks, you're going to get a really great negative review about some Batman stuff.
That's true.
Or
it's going to be really amusing.
Are you really going to read through all that?
Oh fuck yeah! I'm probably gonna skip around on stuff. Like I'm not gonna go linear, but I'm gonna read through all this stuff pretty soon. I've got a couple of off days that I just lined up.
So sorry.
That's wild. Great.
Really awful review on Codpiece Thor.
I know.
This is gonna be like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 type thing. I'm just gonna riff on this shit. Like
that, or you're just gonna pop back in a video in a few weeks. You're just gonna have this wandering stare into like I've seen the abyss.
I'm just gonna be crying.
It's like the end of Oblivion. I was gonna say something. Shit, never mind. Oh no, I was gonna say Riley should do that negative review after having too much whiskey again.
Oh,
that was a classic.
These books are fucking.
Oh, Kristen's already emailed us. She sent us a really sweet email.
Nice.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Kristen is our first official winner. Hey, congrats.
That is awesome.
Make it so complicated and stupid for everybody.
That was one guy.
I was
easy.
fucking confused.
Exactly.
Mainly 'cause you two assholes kept putting numbers in there.
Hey Omar, how about after the show I'll show you how I could do that in 5 seconds.
That's what your wife said.
That's what you said.
No, sorry, I forgot we're on the air. Damn it, I'm so sorry.
That's what I said.
Damn it. I feel so comfortable around you now. That's how close we've gotten. Damn, sorry, dude. That was fucking.
Dang, I didn't know we were gonna start doing your mom. And your
No,
wife.
I just broke that seal. It's on now. Feel free.
Justin Fields asked, did Jess ever read My Hero Academia? Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, we're going into the reading portion. For me, I have so much that I read, I'm not going to review everything. I'm just going to say whether I liked it or not. And I liked My Hero Academia a lot. I will read volume 2. I know I can't promise you I'm going to read all 12 or 15 volumes, but I'm at least going to go on to the next volume because I want to find out what happens to him. So pretty good for manga, me. I read some manga this week.
It only gets better. Now we got to have you read 20th Century Boys and Monster.
Oh yeah, those are classic, man.
Speaking of Luis, I read Fury, My War Gone By on the recommendation of Luis. I loved it. It was great. Garth Ennis had great story. Of course, that was a gross picture I just showed you, but that's okay. I loved it. You've heard of Weapon X. I read Magnet O. 4 volumes of Magnet O by Cullen Bunn. And it was great. There was kind of a weird ending because Magneto, I guess it went into Secret Wars. So the ending was kind of weird. It just sort of died off into a Secret Wars type ending. He was trying to keep an alternate Earth from crashing into our Earth. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. So, I mean, I figured it out eventually. But for those of you who read Magneto, you'll find out at the end that it goes right into Secret Wars. So there, I saved you the confusing feeling that I had.
Good old Marvel crossover is fucking up every other storyline going on.
You're right. Generation X, I read that. This was great. I enjoyed it a lot. Not a big Quentin Quire fan, but I sort of dug him in this. It's about when Jubilee takes over the Xavier School, takes over a class anyway. I thought it was a good little detective story. John P. suggested I read Generation Gone, so I read that. Really good. It's about computer hackers who get infected with a virus that jumps out of their computer and turns them all into superheroes, whether they want to or not. And like right here. And it's how they deal with their superpowers. All 3 of them deal with it differently. That's an ongoing.
On the internet when that happened?
Sorry?
Were they all watching porn on the internet when the virus?
No, they were hacking into a bank trying to steal $1 billion. And somebody was monitoring it. Ocean and Orbiter, Warren Ellis. I read this. These are classic short stories that he did, and I loved it. I needed to read more Warren Ellis short stories. because that's really about what he does is short stories.
Mhm.
Yeah, both of these were great. Orbiter was especially great, about a space shuttle that comes back after being missing for 10 years. It's got skin growing around it and a completely different control panel. The crew's missing and just the surviving pilot or captain rather, and he is barely coherent, and they try and figure out where it's been for the past 10 years, and it's apparently been defying the laws of physics. That was great. Paper Girls, everybody knows this book. I read this. Highly enjoyable, great art, great color palette, great writing.
Pterodactyl?
Sorry?
Was that?
Yeah, pterodactyls appear in the sky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that book had me hooked from the beginning when I saw the girls' posters that she had on the wall.
Oh, yeah?
Very similar to my walls when I was younger. Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett poster.
It didn't have any tiger beats or anything like that, just to beat you to the
Tiger
punch.
beats.
They had Omar beats all over them.
John Stamos poster on the ceiling.
On the ceiling. That's where the mirrors went.
All of his NSYNC CDs on the wall.
Satellite Sam by Matt Fraction and Howard Chaykin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a review on that today, and it was good. I loved it, but you have to be really a student of history and want to know what went on with 1950s television to really get into it, because it really micro focuses on 1950, 51, 52 television industry, and it's kind of technical. It's a whodunit that deals a lot with a lot of sex and drinking and smoking and other violence. So it's I loved it, but I don't know that I could recommend it into 1950s television and the production of it and stuff. Satellite Sam.
Is that by Fraction? Not Fraction.
Yeah.
No.
Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange, I read. This was great with great Chris Pachalo art. I liked how they changed Doctor Strange into kind of a ladies' man, and you can't even open his refrigerator because there's crazy stuff climbing out of his refrigerator. And then lastly, I read Dr. Aphra and Screaming Citadel. All Star Wars comics. Dr. Aphra is my favorite new character easily, and Screaming Citadel was a crossover that went between Dr. Aphra and Star Wars, and it was really good. So I had a full week of reading. It's gonna
Man, you sir, were not playing around. You freaking read and hauled this week. You made up for the last couple of weeks.
I did, yeah, I did. I read a lot. I hauled a lot. I'm the boss.
Luis, I'm glad you're caught up with Deadly Class. It's so good. I was hearing you talk earlier while I was doing the numbers thing. Oh man, I love that book series. It reminds me of like Game of Thrones and like Harry Potter and all, like a good amalgam of all these things that I enjoy. So it's really solid.
And Shabnab, I think the fat kid's name. He's such a
oh yeah. He's like the Joffrey of
oh my god,
Deadly Class.
So much so that when something happens to him, I was like, fuck yes. But I know it's just going to serve to only piss him off more and make him an even worse villain later on in the story.
Yeah, it's a solid series. The Sin hardcover was just solicited at the Image Expo, so I'm excited to get that.
I hate his girl. His girlfriend in it? Oh my god. She's just...
Oh yeah, she's just as bad.
Just a parasite.
Oh yeah, here's a good question. When are we going to be talking about Planetary? I know we're going to be reading it now. Do we have a date set for talking about it?
I believe Gabe is in charge of that.
The end of March.
End of March. Cool.
Yeah, we just did what did we do last? We just did the
Avengers Crap Fest.
So like March 30th. I think March 30th is this Saturday. I mean a Monday. Wait, no, we're doing it Monday.
Although we did review Black Panther, and I felt like I was in the minority there when you guys both hated the Priest run. And I actually liked it. So
I love the Priest run.
that double entendre you got going on there.
The last Monday in March is the 26th. Do you want to do it that day? March
Sure,
26th.
It's a big book, so yeah, it's gonna take us a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, Justice thought he wanted to read more Warren Ellis, and I was going to say, well, we got Planetary coming up pretty soon.
Nice, right up my alley, my jam.
Yeah, that jam right up your alley.
That's jam right up my alley.
It's a bigger book, but it reads really quickly.
Only 28 issues. Not too bad, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 28 plus that one has a couple of one-shots, like the Batman Planetary issue.
Oh, I forgot it had one-shots in there too.
But yeah, it's a quick read. Like I remember reading that when it was in the individual paperbacks, and I just ate through that so quickly.
Well, it wasn't a quick read, and I was reading it in singles, and it took 4 years for the last issues to come out.
Yeah, that wasn't quick. Speaking of issues that take forever to fucking come out, Shield issues 5 and 6.
Oh yeah, dude, that's bad.
Finally, Jesus. I was like in my first year of college when that first came out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think that's about the same for me.
They're finally going to finish Shield. Issues 5 and 6 are going to come out this year, and they're reprinting the first 4 issues.
Yeah,
which gives me hope for oversized hardcover that they'll charge $50 for 6 issues.
Well, they probably wind up doing an all 12 plus the Infinity one shot in one instead, because it was too many.
I hope so.
I will buy it on IST as happy as can be. I don't care. I'm gonna get
but then they'll slap the Omnibus title on it and charge $100. So
I'll still buy it.
Well,
did you guys already? Did everybody talk about what they read already?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna answer this question really quick before somebody makes a big mistake. Who's asking? Somebody's asking if the Just Imagine by Stan Lee Omnibus is any good.
I saw that.
No. Don't do that. Don't go that route.
If you want to get it.
Well, they're asking if it's any good though. You want to save people money, right?
Get it.
I mean, yeah. If you found it for $30, maybe, and you like Stan Lee, go for it. But I would not pay more than that. I would not pay more than 10. But whatever. That's my vote. Did you guys read any of that stuff? Just Imagine by
I've read
Stan Lee?
the first issue that's in that Omni because like I just said, I found it for 20, so I was like, fuck it when I found it and I grabbed it because at the very least it has a lot of cool artwork. But I read the first issue and I thought that it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Well, there you go. Maybe you will like it. So if you found it, buy it.
Yeah, but I also buy the shittiest Batman books.
I also buy the shittiest Avengers books.
And
I have the shittiest X-Men books too, because I have all of the X-Men books.
I do too, including the shit that I hate, like fucking Brian Michael Bendis' run. I'm such a poser.
You're always like, fuck Bendis, but how much money have you spent on Bendis?
I sent that motherfucker's kid through college.
I buy 90 stuff, so what are you going to do?
You guys want to take some questions from the chat and call it a night? Is that it? Is that all you're done talking about reading?
Me and Omar are in a sync tonight because I wasn't a fan of Bendis' X-Men either.
My man. No, it gets a lot of love and it gets a lot of hate, honestly. It's not universally loved or universally hated either. Unlike his Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I've met 3 people that like his Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, the dumpster fire.
And I killed 2, so we're down to 1 asshole. All right. Kidding. All right, so chat. Who's in charge of looking at that chat? Because I'm blinded from all those numbers earlier.
Matt Miranda wants to know what's in your pull list, Riley.
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well that answers that question. Attack on Louis says, "Have you seen the new Planet of the Apes movies, Jess?" No, I have not. I have not seen them. I've been talking about
Jess
seeing
is
them
too
for
busy
the past year.
reading comics.
Yeah.
Just saw the first one in theaters.
Well, that's true. I was 12 years old, so that's very true.
Yeah.
Not the new one, guys. The original. Charlton Heston.
The new ones are good, man. I dig them. I love the especially the last one. I thought it was awesome.
That's what I hear. Is Alan Moore Swamp Thing next after the Bronze Age omnibus? I think so.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it's going to get done.
Are we doing questions right now?
Yeah, I think because previews is so thin, there was hardly anything that anybody was excited about for tomorrow.
Oh, I got like 1 or 2 books coming out tomorrow. Hold on.
There are a couple books like This Amazing Cable Onslaught. You know.
It already came out though.
Well, no, InStock gets it tomorrow, man.
How'd you already get it?
Why do you have it?
I went to a comic book shop. Do you guys still remember those places? Every once in a while, they get their stuff a little bit earlier, like a week earlier. I was on a trip, and I was like, I got to find something to read.
I think it already came out, Omar. We have it at my store.
Gabe, I just said comic book stores get it a little bit earlier, and it will be out on in-stock trades tomorrow. Remember some of the stuff, not everything. Sometimes it's the same day.
It's out.
Well, I'm looking at for stuff that I know comes out tomorrow. Avengers Academy Complete Collection Volume 1.
Everyone should pick that
New
up. That's a great
Mutants-
title.
New Mutants Epic Collection Curse of the Valkyries. That one's a later volume that fills an uncollected gap, I believe, from Louise Simonson's run. And then I don't know if it's still scheduled to come out, but maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 6 hardcover.
I didn't see it in the email we got today. The Valkyrie Epic that you're talking about, if you get that and you've bought all the hardcovers and the classics, you will own every single issue of New Mutants in, I guess, collected format. So that was a long time coming.
Yeah, that when they solicited that volume, that was a pretty big fist pump for me.
Now, of course, you've had to have been collecting for a long time because you have to have the Inferno X-Men hardcover. You have to have the Fallen Mutants. But those have been released in trade paperbacks too. I forgot about that. So you're fine.
Re-releasing those in paperbacks, so that's actually better if you're if you like having everything in the same format. Then you can have without a mix of paperbacks and hardcovers. But I've got the hardcovers for those issues. You know what's not collected, if I'm not mistaken, unless it is, I don't know. There's a few issues between Mutant Massacre and Fall of the Mutants.
No, I think it's all collected, man. Yeah,
is that like
the final classics volume had those issues in it?
That's okay. That's the tail end of the Claremont
Chris
stuff.
Claremont.
Okay,
And
okay. Then
the beginning of Louise is in this is in the Fall of the Mutants stuff.
Yeah. Fuck me, I'm dumb.
I'll pass. And I don't agree with you. You're not dumb. All right, Gabe, you're in charge of your questions, brother. Did you grab any more?
Those are the questions. All right. What do we got going on? I don't know. There's nothing in here quite yet. Jess, how do you feel about Spielberg remaking West Side Story?
What the fuck?
I will answer for him since he's not there. I feel awesome. I like Spielberg and I love West Side Story.
Never seen it.
That seems really random.
Is that really a thing? Or is he really remaking it?
That seems. I don't know about that.
Huh. I love Spielberg. I mean, the man hardly disappoints. So
Ready Player One.
I'm excited for that. I'm sure it's not going to be anywhere near as good as the book because of the whole licensing thing. But from the trailer, I see where they're going. Even though they added a new element to the story, I don't know how that will play out, but I think it'd be good for a movie.
Oh, here
Jess,
comes
did you know that
our broken white boy?
Did you know they're remaking West Side Story? Steven Spielberg is, and how do you feel about that?
What? That sucks. That's ridiculous. You gotta be kidding me.
That was 2 completely different takes there.
I really thought I knew Jess better than I do.
One was like Earth 2 Jess, and one was Earth Prime Jess.
He got all defensive like he fucking wrote the story.
That's ridiculous. That is the perfect movie done perfectly well with awesome casting, awesome lyrics, awesome writing, awesome dancing. It should not be touched.
Is that the one with John Travolta?
No.
Are you thinking about Saturday Night Fever?
No, he was thinking of Pulp Fiction.
No. Saturday Night Fever is the disco one. I like that one.
No, he's thinking of Pulp Fiction.
No.
Urban Cowboy?
Urban Cowboy.
No.
We're talking two.
Grease?
No. Wait. Yeah, Grease. That's what it was.
Stone.
Wrong movie.
Wrong movie.
My
Just did, like,
relationship
every
with Matt
other-
Miranda is now officially over. He says
Oh.
West Side Story is boring. Goodbye.
So does that mean Matt's available?
That means Matt and I are broken up as BFFs.
Matt Miranda is boring.
What are you going to do about that tattoo on your chest then, Jess?
The one that says Natalie Woods rules.
Yeah, that one. I was going more for the Matt Miranda rules tattoo.
The I love Matt Miranda on my the heart
Yeah.
of my arm. I'm gonna have to change that to somebody else. Were you thinking about Grease, Luis?
Yeah, that's the movie. I've never seen Grease either, so. Or West Side Story.
That's the best question, Nick Martin. With the Annihilation movie coming out last week, what are the chances that they'll reprint the Omni? If only an intern at Marvel would be in charge of all the Omni reprints. Oh shit, guys! There's a movie coming out. We got to reprint.
You know, I was so fucking excited like 2 years ago when they first announced. I was like, "Oh fuck, they're doing shit! It's with Natalie Portman. This isn't the movie I wanted."
I want to see that movie. It looks really dope, though.
It's weird as shit, dude. It's so weird.
You saw it?
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw it.
Yeah,
I've heard it's good.
it's good. I mean, it's just it's one of those
Better.
really quiet movies. Like, I got up to go to the bathroom and just like it's just quiet. Like it was weird because like people could hear me walk out of the bathroom. They could like hear my bladder swish back and forth in soda.
Is this how you determine what a good movie is? That people can hear you peeing?
It can't be worse.
It's kind of like I mean, you know, what's his face? Poe Dameron's in it also. It's like Ex Machina. I mean, it's the same director, so it's like these.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited. I love that movie.
You know, it's quiet moments throughout the entire movie, kind of like how that movie that what's her face that plays Lois Lane was in. That was really good last year.
Arrival?
Arrival.
That was like my favorite movie that year.
That was a
Nobody
brilliant
laughed.
movie.
Nobody talks in the theater. Nobody. It's just it's creepy. It's quiet.
Does
And
it have a good dance sequence like Ex Machina?
no, I wish there's no titties.
Like I said, it can't be worse than Mother and Lady Bird. God.
God, Jesus. But it's similar to Mother. It ends on a note where you're like, "What the fuck does this mean? Wait, what the fuck just happened?" It ends really weird.
That's what they have the internet for, Gabe. So you can like feel smart and talk about it with your friends later on the next day. Let me tell you what this means, guys.
Jesus, no. It's gonna take more than that for me to try and talk smart to you guys.
Let me tell you about Christopher Priest's run on Black Panther.
Oh God, fuck that. Somebody, Ben P in the chat is asking Luis, is there any book coming out that's making you reconsider buying Omnibus again?
Nope. Nope. Nothing coming out omnibus wise. I am gonna get the 20th Century Boys hardcovers, but that's not an omnibus.
Ow.
Actually, I was looking over solicitations for like the past year this week because they've been coming out like crazy, and I literally looked through every omnibus, and I'm like, there's nothing here that's really grabbing me. Like,
Yeah. There's a few things for me, like I was saying earlier in our chat, but you know, not much this year really.
yeah,
There's
it's
the box set. There's Transmit 3, Preacher 3,
yeah.
Miles Morales Omnibus, and everything else that's been coming on that sounds cool is just like stuff that you could find everywhere else, like that Venom Spider-Man versus Omnibus that's coming out. That got really.
Shut up! I'm buying that.
It's got oversized Maximum Carnage.
It's a Maximum Carnage, but I mean,
That's the only reason why.
There's only I think there's only 8 issues that are collected in another omnibus, and that's it. And everything
but
else has not been.
Where it's not a cohesive story. It's just a compilation of just appearances and stuff. I don't like those kind of omnis.
Just put out a fucking Maximum Carnage omnibus or a hardcover.
I really wanted David Michelini and Mark Bagley omnibus to lead and finish that off with the Maximum Carnage run.
Yeah,
That would have been the perfect one.
Cardiac stuff.
Like
They're probably still going to do it. They probably just won't have Maximum Carnage in it.
You know, damn it, that's gonna piss me off because I really don't want to buy this stupid Spider-Man Venom Omni just to get the Maximum Carnage storyline. And it's not even like a good storyline. It was just okay. But I'm such a stupid ass completist.
That's my shit though. Like that's what I grew up on, was just crazy fucking symbiote weird enemies like Doppelganger and Carrion and shit like that. Like that was Demo Goblin. That was my Spider-Man.
Go play the Super Nintendo beat 'em up game. It's just as good.
I had that. And I also had the like 2 other Spider-Man Super Nintendo games.
I used to go to the comic shops as a kid and try to hunt down Maximum Carnage shit. I just was obsessed with it as a kid.
Yeah. I remember selling that. Well, that was around the time when I was working at a comic book store, and I remember people would come in trying to find those issues. And we had such an overabundance of them. I'm like, I hope they realize they're not really selling out.
But this is an interesting year for omnibuses. There's really nothing off the top of my head that's like, holy shit, I got to run out and get this so far.
Man, I've got a list. It's not updated, but I've got a list on my phone, man. Like,
I mean,
there's
they're
so much stuff I'm excited about.
Stuff, which is really cool. But then they're also putting out that random Galactus hardcover, with just random issues in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that like it's like I think the size of the those platinum editions that they released.
Getting a lot of Fantastic Four reprints. It's almost like they got the rights back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the team's gonna be back soon.
Oh no, Tyler, I was just sketching while we talked. What I do? He's like, is he still sorting through the numbers? No, I just
That's awesome.
This is what I do during like my meetings at work. I'm just like, man, Omar's such a diligent worker, man. He's writing everything I fucking said down. I'm fucking drawing like flying penises.
But yeah, I've got
caricature of your boss with dicks flying around him.
I've got like a list.
I've got some good Omnis, man. I'm excited about a lot of Omnis, like Impulse and the Grant Morrison Batman stuff.
Avengers by Hickman Volume 2.
Yeah.
Even the Final Crisis, I will end up getting.
Runaways is finally getting an actual omnibus. I never had the hardcover, so that's cool for me.
Yeah, definitely pick that up if you don't have the hardcovers.
One of them, my biggest one, Wolverine Goes to Hell, is one I've been wanting for years because I fucking love that story.
Yeah, the Jason Aaron Volume 2.
Yeah, that
Wolverine.
Shit is that is my thing, right? That is it for me. That has been on my top of my wish list for like years.
Really,
the Frank Terry Weapon X stuff, which will include his run on Wolverine. I'm picking that up. That comes out, I think, next month.
How is Jason Aaron's Wolverine?
Jason Aaron's Wolverine is one of my favorite, not just Wolverine stories, but one of my favorite X-Men related runs of all time.
Oh shit! Okay.
That, like, I've literally, I think one of the first, when I was doing a lot of stuff on my site, one of the very first wish list posts that I made was for this volume in particular, Jason Aaron Wolverine Volume 2, which they're now calling Goes to Hell. And it's just such a good, I mean, I know some people are like, that story was stupid. And I'm like, well, I think that you're fucking dumb because it's so good. Like, it's just this really good exploration. I feel bad saying that because I think Peter doesn't like that story, if I recall correctly. But it's this really just great exploration of the character and like his psyche and kind of why he or his relationship with younger characters, because he's always got those younger X-Men kind of attached to the hip, like Kitty and Jubilee and stuff like that. And then it leads into Schism and kind of explains his mentality during Schism and why he was the way he was and why he reacted to stuff the way he did. So it's just, I really fucking love that run. And also the book includes the Astonishing Wolverine and Spider-Man miniseries, which features like a 4-page spread, one of those gatefold spreads of Doom the Living Planet, which is basically like Ego but with Doom's mask on.
I want to see that.
I'd pay fucking $100 for that in an omnibus any day.
Somebody's asking you a question, Riley. You once mentioned there was a very heartfelt story about Wolverine going to pick up Nightcrawler from Hell. Is that going to be included in that Omni?
That is not going to be included in that Omni, and that actually like really rustled my jimmies because it's basically the final part of all of Jason Aaron's X-Men stuff, and it's also the only part of Jason Aaron's X-Men material that's not going to be in an oversized collection. They're
Well, are you talking about Astonishing X-Men? That book?
No, I'm talking about
No,
Amazing X-Men.
Amazing
6.
Is that Chris
X-Men, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not in any oversized collection. They could have shoved it in here if they wanted to, and it would have been a little bit weird, but it would have worked. I really loved that story, but basically it was kind of like the epilogue to everything that Aaron did on the X-Men, and it featured the story where Logan and gang go not into hell but into heaven to track down into heaven and kind of into purgatory, I guess, to track down Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it was purgatory because there's pirates and things like that. But
yes,
what's his name? What's in his dad in there?
Azazel
Ezekiel
shows up.
or Azazel? That's him. Yeah.
Ezekiel is another. That's the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, that's part of the spider totem.
Yeah, he's the spider totem dude who doesn't wear shoes, but he wears like a suit.
Oh, I love that stuff. But yeah, you're right. I'm excited about some Omnis.
Batman 66. I'm so excited about Batman 66. I've been wanting to read that series for a while. Jeff Parker doing fucking Adam West Batman.
Huh.
Bless me.
Kevin Smith started that.
No, that was all Jeff Parker.
Yeah, the Kevin Smith stuff was recent, probably like a couple years ago.
But that includes everything, doesn't it? Like even crossovers and things like that.
I don't know if it includes all of the crossovers. I have to look at Amazon, but it does have the entire digital first series that was across 30 normal issues. And I think it has the Lost Two-Face story where they adapted an old script. Let's see. Looking at the solicit for it, and it gives me no information. Thanks a lot, fucking Amazon. But it says it has 928 pages, and it's $100, and it's Jeff Parker, who I love because he wrote one of my favorite runs on the Thunderbolts, and he also wrote that amazing Red Hulk run that I talk about every chance I get.
Wait, you can't talk about Jeff Parker and not mention Agents of Atlas.
I'm sorry, Omar. I haven't read
awesome.
Agents of Atlas.
Oh, you would love it if you like his writing style. It is so cheap. They're so cheap. You should get, and I think they're doing complete collections.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's getting a complete collection pretty soon, actually. So I'm just gonna wind up grabbing that because I have been wanting to read it because of how much I love Jeff Parker. I don't know what my dog is trying to do, but it's annoying me. She's too big to like cuddle like she is.
Cuddle that dog, man. Cuddle that dog.
Riley, if somebody doesn't have the first Wolverine by Jason Aaron, can they still get the second one, or do they need the first one?
No, they can totally
get the second.
Yeah.
Yes,
because the first one was more like, wasn't it more like Return to Weapon X and all that storylines?
It was a bunch of like. It was a bunch of short stories. Like even the ongoing Weapon X series was made up of 3 short stories that are not really connected at all. But like you can go into this one without reading the previous one. I think that's really why they didn't call it Volume 2, so that people would buy it without thinking they needed Volume 1 first. But if you do read the stuff from before this, I think that you get kind of an enhanced experience of the material here and of the Jason Aaron Wolverine and the X-Men series, because both of these books draw from stuff that happened in that first volume. Like there are storylines here and there where it revisits characters and plot lines that Jason Aaron was working with, such as like even the most insignificant seeming stuff, like in the Spider-Man and Wolverine, Astonishing Spider-Man and Wolverine miniseries that I mentioned. they have these like time crystals or something, and those come back in the Wolverine in the X-Men arc where they meet up with Dog Logan. That's or Dog Howlett, whatever his name is.
Okay.
Yeah. I know at one time I remember somebody was asking about this. This is a very good question. Is do we know how well Omnis sell? Omnibuses. Do y'all know? Do you ever look at that stuff like from Diamond releases at the end of the year? Obviously, they don't have a huge print run. What about you, Gabe? You got any of that info?
There's a podcast out there I listen to that does monthly sales numbers. They kind of decompress all the numbers that Diamond puts out each month. And Omnis do, they do a couple thousand a month, it seems like. They don't seem to be too bad.
Really? That much? Holy shit. I thought it was only well, I guess it depends on the title, but for some reason I thought it was a big deal to break 1,000.
No, I mean,
for an omnibus.
Again, those are ordered by stores and they sit on the store shelves for forever, until somebody buys it.
What are their print runs though? Isn't it like some of them are only like 3,000, some of them are like 9,000, something like that?
That's why some of them go out, out of print a little quick or more sought after. Like, what was it? The Shang-Chi stuff, I think, only had a couple thousand. I know, like, Annihilation didn't have a lot. That was a really short print run, too.
Uncanny X-Force was a small print run, too. Ow.
They don't put out too many of them.
Yeah.
I assume you guys saw that Tokyo Ghost and Low are both getting reprinted later this year. I didn't even know Low was out of print, honestly.
I didn't either. I remember, like, somewhat recently, people got all booty hurt about, like, Tokyo Ghost being apparently gone. And then people were showing pictures from eBay of it selling for, like, multiple $100s.
Huh. Wow.
And then all of a sudden, like, a week later, they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to reprint that. Like, that's why these books are really poor investments.
Right.
Remender's books are pretty good. They usually come back in stock once.
Yeah, they usually stay in print in one format or another, except for
usually
X-Force.
and Fear Agent. We'll never get that in a library edition again.
Yeah, I was gonna say in Fear Agent, but I think I'll say Image will probably do something with Fear Agent close to the library edition. It'd be stupid for them not to.
Lemire's Moon Knight oversized hardcover. Any thoughts on that?
Good.
Yeah, that's a good run. I dig it.
I really like that run.
I'd rather it be a Stephen Platt omnibus.
Me and you. Me too, brother. I love that shitty run.
Dude, that's just great. An omnibus of like 4 issues. That's all I need.
It is. It's like the final issues when he dies.
Yeah.
I just hope they do a because they're doing the Bendis one that comes out I think in March, which I discussed in our chat as one of the books that we could review for next month. So Omar has to read more shitty Bendis stuff.
So what
wait a minute.
Kind of jumping ahead, wouldn't May's obvious choice be like Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity?
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about the new releases so we can get IST books. But that they have that coming out, and then they have the Lemire stuff. So I'm hoping they do another hardcover for the Wood or the Ellis Wood Bun run that was in between those two.
Yeah,
if not just to have Ellis in an oversized format.
Kenny or Kenneth, I do have thoughts on that. I think it's shitty that they started with. So he's asking about the Superman Exile Omnibus, and he was wondering if we had any thoughts. The only thought I have on that is I think it's shitty that they started there instead of the John Byrne starting off point, which would have been collecting Man of Steel and have those first 4 trade paperbacks in an Omni format. They've already got the stuff mapped out. I'm not really sure why they decided to go with Exile first, which happens right before Death and Return of Superman. And I don't think it even collects Panic in the Sky.
How much people feel about the Hickman FF getting complete collections and not reprinting the omnibuses again.
I think it means that they're going to reprint the omnibus again.
You think so?
Same.
Yeah.
Are there
there's been so many. Yeah, that's on Hatchet right now. But there's been so many times where we've seen. I mean, the most recent one that I can think of is Punisher Max got all of those complete collections, and then boom, all of a sudden there was a omnibus solicited not long after they came out.
I mean, I can see it happening. I mean, we all know Marvel loves to just print these stories in every single format that they could
Oh
pump
yeah.
out, you know.
Especially the ones that are as praised as that run was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so sure that it's going to wind up getting a reprint. And did you see the amount of Fantastic Four stuff that was solicited?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised we haven't seen much X-Men stuff either. Like, I'm surprised we haven't had any X-Men Omnis mentioned this early on this year.
Well, they got the what's it called? That Wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix, which fills another oversized gap.
Yeah, we will have Fabian Nicieza and I guess almost all the Scott Lobdell stuff. Because Scott Lobdell finished at 350, Uncanny 350, and Fabian left right after Age of Apocalypse, or I'm sorry, I want to say almost the last issue of his Gambit and the Externals was his final issue at Marvel. So that's every
the only book I was looking at it, and it'll be like you're saying, everything through Age of Apocalypse except for the issues of X-Men that are in the Skinning of Souls paperback.
Yeah, and also annual number 2. And one day, goddammit, I hope they do the Shattershot storyline in oversized format. Those are the only books that have never been reprinted anywhere. The annuals, the crossover with Mojo and the Mojoverse stuff. Yeah. So, and I'm surprised because I'm surprised they didn't include them in the Jim Lee stuff, because Jim Lee did the layouts for the X-Men annual. And then we had Greg Capullo on art, and I think, was it Jay Lee on the other one? I'm surprised those haven't been reprinted anywhere.
At this point, it's like 100% clear that Corey Settlemeyer, who's been the editor on the X-Men books, has a grand map in mind. Like, he's got everything mapped out. He's got, from beginning to end, he knows what he's doing. And like it's that he was the one. Was it him or was it the one of the other guys from Marvel that commented about the material between that Revolution omnibus and the
Jeff York.
X-Men. Yeah, Jeff York's another one that works on these books. He mentioned that. So I know Settlemeyer, whenever Deadpool and X-Force came out, he was the one that said, yeah, this was they used my map for X-Force Volume 2, like the exact map that I had. And he's talked about his maps before. So he makes it sound like he's got a master plan. He and the editors right now at Marvel have a master plan pretty much for everything X-Men related. It's just a matter of when they release it.
I'd like to think they do, because that would be great. I remember years ago when I first got into Omnis, I'm like, oh man, in 10 years, just imagine I'm going to have 10 Spider-Man Omnis sitting there collecting all the way to 300. And of course, that was like 2007, I think, 2006. So it's insane the amount of time we have to wait between these Omnis. So I would go broke. I would go broke buying each omnibus like every month.
If they release them with the same regularity as normal trades and like Masterworks, then we'd be fucked.
I mean, I know also keep them in print either. Like, I mean, even they were trying to put out Amazing Spider-Man every year. Every year it seems like Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Volume 2 goes out of print, or at least every couple of years. It's out of print right now.
Biggie Cheese is asking what he needs to read before X-Men Red. Nothing really. You just need to know that Jean Grey's back. But if you want to, you can pick up the Jean Grey Resurrection story. That's it. But I think both Riley and I really enjoyed the X-Men Red. It's been good. It surprised me how good it is.
It feels it really does feel like an older X-Men, the way that the story is told. It feels like an older X-Men story, and it kind of had me like snap, and I'm like, this is how they're supposed to be. Like, it's been so long that I'm like,
especially that ending. I love that ending. I'm like, okay, this wants me to, like, I need to buy the next issue. That's what I didn't get out of X-Men Gold and X-Men Blue. I didn't care what happened in the next issue because I didn't give a shit what was happening in the current issue. So
like,
the cliffhanger in X-Men Red was solid.
Yeah, that was where it really hit me. Was like, that feels like a classic X-Men cliffhanger. But like, I've been enjoying X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold much less so. But it's you're right. Like, X-Men Blue, even if I've been enjoying it, it's not so much where every month I'm like, yeah, X-Men Blue. I feel that way more so about Astonishing right now, but definitely not for like Blue or Gold. And I know it's stupid because it's just a name, but like, I really wish that they would come back with Uncanny and Adjectiveless X-Men as the two main books.
Well, we're getting another fucking relaunch here in a couple months, right? That's what they just said. So who knows what we're gonna get? Probably add X-Men Black to X-Men Black, X-Men Silver, where like Cable and all the old people hang out.
They'll stick the landing on it. We'll see why.
Well, they had in that, I think it was in the Phoenix miniseries, they had the teams and they were like, all right, Gold team, Blue team, and then they had Black team, which was basically just the Weapon X team.
And I think the only important question is, which team is Gold Balls
on? He's on Spider-Man.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Of course, he's a Bendis character.
Yeah, so only Bendis is going to write him until...
Because his name is Gold Balls, guys!
3 months from now.
And then he would just disappear to obscurity like the rest of those X-Men characters that are long forgotten.
Well, what's her... Strain used... What's his name? Benjamin, the shapeshifter dude. She used him in Generation X, but now that series is done, I doubt that he's going to appear anywhere.
Maybe you were behind me in your... I totally forgot that Jean Grey had a team before this too, because I forgot that she led the team during X-Men Eve of Extinction. Or Eve of Destruction, I'm sorry. Yeah. The storyline right before the Morrison stuff. I forgot that she led a team of nobodies. I think in Dazzler was another character that was on that team.
That's the stuff that York was talking about when people were like, there's a gap here, like, what are you doing? And then he was like, this. Well, his comment was really sarcastic. It was like...
His comment was awesome. It was like, it's almost as if these people had thought that there would be another collection. Everybody was complaining, including Peter M. and myself and you. Why didn't they just go ahead and include all these other stories and line it up perfectly with new X-Men and the Uncanny stuff? But apparently, maybe something's in the works. Because, I mean, there was a lot more stuff that we needed. Because I totally forgot about the Magic miniseries, right? The Black Sun stuff.
Yeah.
And then the X-Men Forever. So I'm hoping they come. So.
Well, I gotta deuce, guys. I'm worried that Millie's gonna shit in my room again.
And I was just getting into this X-Men talk. I'm sorry, it's gonna end.
She's not gonna shit in my room. She's better now. But no, I gotta go. I told my wife I'd be about an hour, and I think I've been about an hour and a half, so I don't want to. But I've got tomorrow off, so I can read some shitty Batman comics.
Nice.
It's gonna be awesome.
Let us know how that goes. You're gonna be so disappointed you took the day off.
I love reading shitty comics. Like, it's like watching shitty movies.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I need to watch a shitty movie.
Geostorm.
That was made to be bad, though.
Geostorm is the perfect storm. So it's so terrible. It's great. I love Geostorm.
It has like the poster that looks exactly like Inception, but it's got Gerard Butler on there.
Yes. It's like if they said, we can make Day After Tomorrow, but dumber.
God, could Gerard Butler make a good movie like after 300 ever? Poor guy. He gets stuck. He gets stuck in shit all the time.
Hey, Law Abiding Citizen was not that bad. I like law-abiding citizen.
And 300 was really just lightning in a bottle because it's not really a great movie. It's just attractive.
Yeah, but how many of us went to the gym, right? Like to get so ripped like those guys.
No,
I tried for a week, and then I'm like, I just need to. I need to just buy some spray paint. Spray paint my abs on there.
I just went to the jewelry store and bought a bunch of gold chains and walked around naked.
That's a showstopper.
Yeah, I was like, come on, guys.
No, I'm just trying to imagine it. I didn't want to go-
Mental images, man. We're comic book guys, right?
I think I'm a little too hairy.
Did you guys hear about Kevin Smith having that massive heart attack? Since you guys hate him so much.
Whoa! I don't hate him. I don't hate
He just
the
should
guy.
have written Batman.
I just don't care for his Batman, but I don't hate the guy.
I think this is exactly
Yeah, right. We've been over this. Jess hates
Yeah.
Nazi.
You know, when Jess saw it, he was like, "Oh, this close."
guys by being eaten by bears on tricycles.
I hope he recovers, man. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. Well, I used to be. I don't know. I haven't really enjoyed his movies that much, but he's a good guy. Like as far as like when he tells a story. I don't know if you guys have ever had that Kevin Smith experience when you go somewhere to go just hear him talk. Like he'll take questions from the audience, and it'll be like 1 or 2 questions, and that's it because one story will lead to another. So he never gets like there's like 30 people waiting in line to ask him something, and it'll just be 2 people that he picks out because that's what he does. And he had a massive heart attack, and it reminded me of that stand-up that he had about his dad, how his dad went out, like he died screaming because he had a heart attack, and he was like, I don't want to go that way. So I'm glad he's okay, or I'm glad he's still with us.
He's going vegan now, apparently. That's what he said right after his heart attack.
Oh, you need to take care of it.
He said maybe I should consider going vegan, and I was like, yeah, right. We'll see.
I agree with Melanie Cleveland. Kevin Smith's Daredevil saved the American comic book industry. I will say that it saved the Marvel comic book industry at the time. Like Daredevil did a lot for Marvel during these years.
Like a huge, name person outside of the world of comics coming into comics.
I mean, he brought Green Arrow back, and I enjoyed Green Arrow Rebirth. I thought it was great. I like the way that he came back, and using Hal as part of that story was awesome. And then I think he did a Bullseye miniseries, but I did not read his
one-issue miniseries that was supposed to be a long ass.
And he never finished, right? Then he did that Black Cat stuff. I never read that, but
that eventually finished after a while. But I mean, I love the guy's early movies, man, like Clerks and Mallrats. I think Mallrats was the first time I saw a movie that I could identify with the characters on the screen as comic book fans and all the comic book,
And I think that was the first time
like that. So
I thought, oh my God, one of us is making movies.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the first time I sat down in a movie theater going, oh my God, somebody like me is making movies, because Stan Lee was in it, and I love Mallrats is my favorite movie. And I think my favorite line was like, you think because a guy reads comic books, he can't kick some ass? Oh my God, fucking love it. Love that movie.
Omar, that's Chasing Amy.
No, that was Mallrats, fool.
No, that's Chasing Amy.
Don't embarrass yourself again, dude. Don't do this.
It's Chasing Amy.
It's not Chasing Amy. It's when they're I'm not. You know what? I'm done. I'm not even gonna look it up because I know I'm right. I'm gonna treat you the same way I treat my wife. I'm gonna just treat you the same way I treat my wife. I'm not even gonna look it up because I know I'm right.
Oh, you gonna leave me dissatisfied? Is that what you mean?
I did leave that floodgate open. Damn it. Why don't we look at the chat and see what they think?
Exactly.
Everybody says it was Mallrats.
Not yet. Benjamin Pinheiro says it's Chasing Amy. So I'm wondering which one it is. Nah, fuck it. I know I'm right, damn it.
There's 3 Mallrats to 1 Chasing Amy.
I'll look it up tomorrow. I'll leave it in the comments. Yeah,
Did
but
y'all
I
ever
hope
read that-
for a speedy recovery. Go ahead.
Did y'all ever read that comic that was like between the two, or was it between? No, it was between Chasing Amy and Dogma. Like it was like a connected if Tiff shoe or something between those two.
No, I never did. What was it
Never
called?
read it anymore, you fucker.
I think it was called Chasing Dogma.
I have it. They put out like a small like trade paperback of it out.
Love it, dog.
Damn it,
Yep,
Omar,
and-
you fucker.
Well, I'm sorry. What was that, Gabe? What was that?
You're right, you're a fucker.
That's the best way to end this episode. Can we cut it?
Well, I'm out, so that's the end of it for me.
Yeah,
Thanks
but
for joining us, Riley.
that Chasing Dogma that you guys are talking about, they have it.
Well, I'm out. See you guys later.
Night, Riley.
Riley, where can they catch you on the internet?
You here and my channel and the group that Jess always butchers. Just if you search the Omnibus Collector, you'll find me. Or if you search Ed Brubaker, my picture shows up somewhere too.
Is that right?
Interesting.
Yeah, let me see if it's still on there. Lewis McGregor showed me this. He was looking up for some reason pictures of Ed Brubaker. And am I still? Yep. Go on Google and look Google Images Ed Brubaker and third row on the right.
That's awesome.
That's me. A little
You're
less
not Ed
hairy, but that's me.
Brubaker.
Or I mean, I could be.
True.
Ed Brubaker.
There's some kid right now that's looking at these pictures and go, huh, that guy's Ed Brubaker.
Yeah, they're like, damn, that was a young Ed Brubaker. Must have come from the past into the future, and he has his own omnibus of something he hasn't even written yet. I mean, that would be my narrative. But yeah, so you can find me also on Google if you look up Ed Brubaker.
Huh, I see Ed Brubaker flipping off the camera, but I'm not seeing you yet.
That's on the first row. It's on the third row of pictures.
Okay, I'll keep looking.
The show's going downhill again, guys.
All right, well,
Because I was right.
I'll leave so that I can so the show can go back uphill. Later, guys.
We'll see you, Riley. Thanks.
Bye, Riley. Thanks, man.
Adios.
I probably should get off here too.
Okay, why don't we first we'll talk about our wonderful sponsor, In Stock Trades. In Stock Trades, where you can save up to 50% off on your comic book collections. Over $50 in ordering gets you free shipping in the United States. There's also loyalty discounts. We've also got perfect packaged shipping, bomb-proof packaging, and fabulous customer service. In Stock Trades for all your comic book needs. Gabe, where can they find you on the interweb?
You can find me, Gabe Infinity Watch, on Instagram. Vero, which is the new Instagram that kind of sucks ass right now, and on the Facebook groups as well, the same as Jess and everybody else here on our panel. So,
And Luis, where can they find you?
You can find me at the Comics Guide 101. Facebook, Twitter, same deal. Comics Guide 101.
Comics Guy 101. Omar, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on my YouTube channel called Near Mint Condition. And actually, I'm doing an episode with Jess tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do a live episode. So it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I talked to him about it. So he's gamed. So
Woohoo!
hope to see some of you guys there, or all of you, whomever. We don't have a gift card to give away, but we'll be there.
We have our love to give away.
Okay.
take it off.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and participating in the contest. That was a lot of fun.
You can find me, OmniDog, at OmniDog's Vault, or on Instagram, OmniDogs_Vault. And on Riley Moore's. What's that now?
Of the Facebook? What's the name of the Facebook group?
The Omnibus Collectors, Comic Swap, and Community. Yes! Nailed it. Got it.
You did it, man.
Thank you. Okay, well, it's been great. This was wonderful. We got to give away our first prize. Omar, thank you for handling that. And Luis, it was great to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And as always, Gabe and Omar, thank you. And people in the chat, peace and love, peace and love. Subscribe, give us a like if you can, and comment. Gabe answers all email and all questions. He answers them within 24 hours.
And they're always fuck off.
There is that.
He'll say it in a nice way.
All right. So thank you, everybody. We'll
Good
talk
night,
to you again.
Good night, everyone.
Later.